Okay, I'm going to do a demonstration of how to bone a chicken with a difference. And I've done a little bit of prep first so that it won't take too long, so that people don't get fed up watching. But basically my plan is to bone the chicken, take all the meat off the bone and end up with a chicken with no bones, but when it's finished I will have it back in the exact same shape of a chicken, which means that when you go cut it, it's straight cutting all the way, and you can get more dinners out of it than you actually believe. And I also have the stuffing made here, because stuffing is a very personal thing. Different people like different things, and stuffing is entirely up to the individual. But I'm going to give you, as quick as I can, a quick demonstration. I've already started by going along and keeping the edge of the knife to the bone as you go along, because once you keep the edge of the knife, you're not actually touching the skin. And the idea is that when you have it done, that you don't puncture the skin in any manner or form, because you need to leave the skin completely intact. So just bear with me now until and as you can see, I've done a good bit of prep here in relation to taking it down to where it is. And if you look over there, I also have a pot over there for when the chicken is finished, and when the bone is out completely, you're now left with a nice bone that you can put in, put an onion and a carrot in with it, and bring it to the boil with cold water starting off, and you have a lovely pot of stock to make soup or whatever turns on. You can actually let it go cold, and you can freeze it in the freezer for another day. But as you can see, I'm taking the bone out of the chicken completely, and I'll end up with just a carcass. And now the plan is to make sure that you end up with every piece of the chicken intact. And of course, the most important thing is, when you get to the back of it, is that you end up with the tail, or as people call it, the Pope's nose. Because everybody likes to see the Pope's nose, and I think our little Pope's nose is there. See it? Right. Now let's start off with the leg now, to take the bone out of the leg. And as you can see, you work your way around, keeping the knife against the bone and working your way down to the joint. And once you get past the first joint, or the knuckle, I'm now working on the thigh, right? And I'm getting down to where the drumstick is. But all the time I'm keeping the edge of the knife to the bone. And I will say that the most important thing that you can have with this is a good sharp knife. You know, most people only cut themselves with blunt knives. If you have a good sharp knife, it's doing the job that you ask it, and you've less chance of cutting yourself. Now, as you can see, I've worked that down there now to the end. You can see the sinews in the drumstick. Pull the drumstick up, cut it off into the pot, right? Go to the other thigh now, work your way down, take it all off until you get down. But the knife I'm using is just an ordinary, good quality boning knife, which every household should have, because as I said before, you'll only cut yourself with a blunt knife. Now when you get this, as you can see, I'm now down to the drumstick. Now put your hand around the bone, catch and pull. And as you can see, I now have the drumstick. Pull it out until the skin is done. Cut it off. Now what have I left here now? I have one very flat chicken. In other words, it needs to be blown up. Right, okay. Quick wash of my hands. Very important. I need to dry them with a towel. Okay. Now I just want to put a little bit of salt here, or pepper, sorry, and I had salt here, just a small little bit of salt because there is salt in the stuffing, but a little bit like that. Now I have my stuffing here, and we start off by getting a fistful of stuffing, coming along here and forcing it up into the cavity where I've taken the bone out of the thigh and the drumstick. One side done, do the other side. Okay, and as you can see, my stuffing, my favourite stuffing is onions, fresh parsley, salt and pepper, and breadcrumbs, and that's the stuffing. And of course, the most important thing is loads of butter. Now what have we got here? We now have a stuffed chicken. Let's just turn it around here and we'll get a skewer, right? And this is where your granny comes in, because she teaches you to sew. I don't know what you call this, a crossover stitch or whatever, but it holds the chicken together lovely anyhow. As you can see, right, we have a chicken that has a, I don't know what sort of a stitch that is. Call it a chicken stitch. Right, that's that one end of it done. Right, break off that there. Use your sharp knife. Turn over your chicken, right? And it's important now that we get our little Pope's nose where it should be there, right? And we have another skewer here, which we need to just sew it up, just so that the stuffing will stay. That broke on me. So we start again. Right? Stuffing is staying in nicely there. Break that half there. Get your chicken. Turn it around. Make a shape. Make it back a shape again. And what have we got? We have a nice chicken. No bones whatsoever. Into the dish. Ready for the oven, and we'll finish it off by putting a rasher over it to give it a nice flavour. Now, that's Ruth's special stuffed chicken.